Our next question is, what is kufr? What is kufr? And kufr, as we mentioned before, every word we should try to first take the Arabic definition in the language, which is what was the definition of the word even before Islam. How did the Arabs use this word? And kufr, its root meaning is to cover something, to conceal something. However, in the Islamic definition, kufr is anything that contradicts iman. Anything that contradicts iman, whether through speech or action or belief. And that's why it translates in the English language to disbelief. Kufr translates to disbelief in the Islamic context. Okay? And kufr, just like shirk, has two kinds, major, okay, and minor. The one other thing is, what's the relationship between kufr and shirk, right? What's the relationship between kufr and shirk? And we've mentioned this in class, but if I were to draw, for example, this circle here, and say this green circle represents shirk, and this yellow circle represents kufr, disbelief, then we understand from it that everything that falls in this green circle also falls in the yellow circle. That means that every type of shirk is kufr, but not every type of kufr is shirk, right? Now, in terms of the difference between major kufr and minor kufr, similar to major shirk and minor shirk, major kufr is the kufr that causes a person to exit Islam. It invalidates your Islam. And when you think of an invalidator of Islam, the example I want to give is, think about if someone makes wudu. If they do a certain act, they invalidate their wudu. They no longer have wudu. Similarly, if you are a Muslim, there are certain things you cannot do, which if you do, nullify your Islam. And that is what entails major kufr. Okay, but what about minor kufr? Minor kufr is anything that is kufr without causing you to leave Islam. It's the things that Allah or the Prophet ﷺ referred to as kufr without you being eternally in the hellfire. Because if you leave Islam, if you do kufr and you leave Islam, you invalidate your Islam and you die upon that, that would entail an eternity in the hellfire. May Allah protect me and you from that. So that is why it is important to understand what's this kufr, because you're going to hear about it when you read Quran or you hear the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and the one who does kufr is a kafir, right? A kafir is the opposite of a Muslim. There is a Muslim, and anyone who's not a Muslim would be a kafir. There's a kafir, anyone who's not a kafir is the opposite of the kafir is a Muslim, right? So there's no other group of people you're in. You're either a Muslim or you're a kafir who disbelieves, or you're a kafir who is a hypocrite, right? And in the text that we took, there's different types of, some scholars, they categorize kufr into the kufr of denial, and the kufr of doubt, and the kufr of arrogance. And so these are some different categorizations we have in the book that we are reading about what a Muslim cannot be ignorant of. And similarly, we need to know then, what are these nullifiers? What are these acts that if we do are nullifiers, which inshallah we will be getting into in a future video. But we've mentioned some of the nullifiers. The one that should stand out from the last topic we covered is shirk, right? If you do major shirk, if you associate a partner in the worship of Allah, or if you associate one of the attributes of Allah to other than Allah, you've nullified your Islam, you've done shirk. And so it's important that we avoid these things. If you joke about the religion, which is one of the nullifiers, if you do magic, according to many scholars, would nullify your Islam based on the ayah that we find in Surah Baqarah. If you take intermediaries with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you call upon those who can't help you and you believe that they can help you, then this is a form of shirk, and this also invalidates your Islam, your Iman. So it's very important we understand this. In the future video, inshallah, we will review some of the well-known nullifiers that the scholars of Islam have called out and warned us to avoid. And so we learn these so that we can protect our iman, and that's going to be something we cover in a future video, inshallah.